Hi there, I'm Ben, and this is my 1975 Mini Cooper. I imported it from Spain in the summer of 2020, and I'm going to be covering the importing process in another video. But for now, I want to talk about what happened after I imported it. Once it was in the US, I took a road trip up the coast. So let's hop in and go for a drive and talk about that road trip. So I had the car shipped to Port Hueneme, which is just north of LA. And I did that because at the time I was living in San Francisco. So I thought, okay, I could just have a nice one-day drive from LA up the coast and it would be easy. But while the car was in transit, which took about a month and a half, I ended up moving to Seattle. So what that left me with was the opportunity to have a really nice kind of 5-day road trip all the way up the coast from Southern California up to Northern Washington. So the first leg I did was picking up the car up to San Francisco. I went and picked up the car with a friend, and it ran great right at port. It took a second to start up. It kind of needed a new battery, just needed a little work, but otherwise it got going and it was running smooth off the bat.
Oh my God, it's so tiny.
We took it straight into Malibu and went through some really beautiful canyon roads and enjoyed everything that LA has with all the nice driving. The next day, I continued up and kind of went up the majority of the California coast to San Francisco. And it was a really easy drive. There were fires going on, so the smoke was kind of bad, but beyond that, there were no issues and the car just coasted fine. It kind of likes going about 60 miles an hour. Any faster than that and it's uncomfortable, but it worked great. And I arrived in San Francisco with no issues. After a week in San Francisco, I picked up my girlfriend at the airport and we had a 3-day weekend to go from San Francisco all the way up to Seattle, which was about a 1,000-mile drive or so. We took off and we decided to stick to the coast, both because it had better conditions with less smoke and also because it was just really beautiful. We headed up through Northern California and there were just so many places that were beautiful. The redwood forest, we got to go through some really beautiful redwood forests. We got to see some amazing lagoons around Humboldt, go to some good farmers markets. And as you can see in the footage, it was just a really nice road trip. We spent the first day going up most of California and then the second day going up through most of the Oregon coast. And on the third day, we had just a few hours left and the first real issue occurred, which was the exhaust broke. So right below the header, the exhaust had cracked and it was leaking pretty bad. So essentially we had straight piped the car. We kept the headphones in for a lot of it, but it was fine. But eventually we made it to Seattle without many issues. I was able to get a new exhaust installed and the car is just about flawless from there on. So the last thing I want to talk about is just outcomes of the drive. And the main thing I found was that buying a classic car like this and taking it immediately on a long road trip really isn't something that you need to be concerned about. The car performed really well, and it's a testament both to how well they're built and also to the importance of making sure that you source one that's in good shape. I had done a lot of research to find the seller of this car and make sure that it was someone I could trust. And even though I bought the car over the phone, and even though I bought it without ever seeing it, it ended up working really well. So I was able to have the seller service the car and ensure that it was in really good shape prior to them shipping it over. So overall, it was a great trip, and I look forward to more road trips in this car and hopefully sharing them with you.